is a newborn baby's behind. Got it all cleaned up. Today on In the Woodyard, it's a finishing cleanup, get the job done kind of day today. Super nice out, 65 degrees and windy, sunny, beautiful day. So I just brought this tote up from down there with the tractor, set it in place, and I put all the chunks in here that I've got from splitting this bunch of wood here. A lot of the stuff, that's not splittable, really ugly nasties, little pieces, chunks, pieces, stuff like that. There's a bunch over there in that tote also. Cut-offs. I just shoveled, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. I brought a snow shovel. Look at this. This is awesome for shoveling up sawdust. Works fantastic. So I cleared off a whole bunch of the concrete here. The place where the tractor and trailer are parked right now, I shoved all this over here. And I also lifted up the stuff that fell down over the edge, these big chunks here. Now a lot of these were cut for the boiler wood, so they're oversized, so I'll have to cut, some cookies off of these, and I'll split some of these down, or I'll rip them down, I should say, and then throw them up here. So I got the saw here. You can see here, these are like 21, 22 inches. I'll rip these down, I'll rip this one down. So I make it easier so that I can lift them. And I'm gonna clean all this debris up here once I get this done. So all I got left to split of this white oak is this stuff right here. So I'm gonna finish this off. It's gonna go into the trailer. I'm gonna go put it into the bin. And then all this debris is gonna be scooped up with the bucket, cleaned up, and I'll take it and I'll put it way out in the brush pile out there. And then the next job is we're gonna clean up all this. So all of this ash I wanna get moved. So the little bitty stuff, the teeny weeny little bitty tiny sticks are gonna be moved out into that pile out there. And then the stuff that's the nice ones that are good for the processor will be put into a pile. And I've been putting them over here, and that's what I'm gonna continue doing, is I'm gonna put them over here into this pile. That is all ash there. This pile here is dry oak. This is ash and box elder and maple and elm and kind of mixed stuff. Looks like I got some runaways here I'm gonna have to straighten out. So this stuff I'm going to, where I'm gonna put all the processor wood, and there's some more over there too. And then this is the oak that needs to be separated. So there's a bunch of dry stuff in here, a bunch of wet stuff in here, and I'm gonna be separating that. And I'm gonna put all of the wet stuff that is needs to be dried longer. That's the stuff with the red marks on it. I'm gonna stack that in a couple rows over here. And that pile's got to be gone through. But first I got to get rid of all of this. So I'm going to sort through all of this stuff. I started here, there was 11 trailer loads full here. And so now I've got left 1, 2, 3, about 4 or so. So I got more than half of it done. I separated that the other day. So I want to get this all cleaned up in here, and that way I can have more room, obviously. You can see I try to keep most of the wood over on this side that needs to be processed. And of course I got to get that pile over there done, and then the processor will go somewhere right over in here. Is kind of my plan to have it in this area. Real nice windy day today, beautiful for being outside. Too bad you're not here, but it's time to get to work right now. Kind of nice being on concrete, because you can't do this in dirt. So as you saw, I cut down all these chunks to size, and I took the cookies and all the chunks and put them into the tote. Then I matriculated all the wood over to the splitter, and I've been here for, I don't know, 45 minutes, and I haven't really done anything yet. Seems like I'm always doing work so that I can work. It seems like a big part of what we do is just prepare to actually get stuff done. There. Kind of got the mess somewhat cleaned up. I'll take you over here and show you the rest of what we got. So I shoveled this up, shoveled that up, so it's really nice to clean up on the concrete. And then over here, I shoved this pile right here from over there. I got all this debris that from splitting that will all be cleaned up. And then I got all this bark that's coming off of this ash as I move it. So I'm not going to do the final cleanup until I get this wood out of here, and then I get this wood all organized through here. Once I get all this stacked over here, over there, and over there, then I can get this cleaned up and get stuff really ready to go. Because, yeah, 3 days from now, Jake's coming, and he's bringing the new refurbished B18, not refurbished. Like I said, I had one of the original ones, and they've made some improvements on it, and so they're doing all the updates to it, and they got that done. So he's bringing it in a couple days, and then we can actually start doing some work, because I've got wood that needs to be processed. If you're from Canada, if you're from the States, processed. There you go. I must put some wood, probably a half a load, I'm thinking. And there's a couple sticks of red oak. I'll toss that into the red oak bin, but there it is. Time to work. About a half a load, so it's not quite a full cord. But I got all the rounds split up, all my debris I kind of consolidated into one area. I moved all the chunks into this tote here, so that tote's almost full. And now we're going to take the trailer out, and we're going to take the elevator out. Going to go over to the bin over there, and we are going to unload the white oak into that bin. Then we're going to come back and clean all this up. And then we're going to start working on moving those logs and clean that up. Feels good to get stuff done. Just feels so good. All right, we're going to fire up the orange stallion and go for a little joyride. For those of you that want to know, I never run this more than about half throttle because the hydraulics are pretty touchy, so I haven't really learned to feather them yet. You got to just barely touch them. But the middle one is up and down for the elevator, and the one on the left is forward. If you pull it forward and then reverse is pull it back, and then the one on this side is your steering. So you pull it back to turn left and push it forward to turn right. Hi-oh, silver, away. Not too speedy. But again, I'm running at low throttle, about half maybe, but it's fast enough. It's about walking speed maybe if that. But because it's not a steering wheel, it's levers, it's not real intuitive. It's scary at first, but now I kind of think I got the hang of it. So I thought I'd drive it the opposite direction. It's more likely the way you're supposed to drive it. It works either direction. This way you're facing, I guess, the direction you're going. But then you got to look back to make sure your tires are going the right direction as far as steering. Because it's, like I say, it's not a steering wheel. It's just pulling a lever back and forth. Depending on which way you're facing, it's backwards. So it's backwards a lot. But I thought I'd come in this way because this is how I'm going to go into the bin. I'm going to pull up by the trailer, which you guys can't see. It's to the left of the camera view right now. And then I'm going to pull into the bin. The white oak bin is the one on the left. And I'm going to park it pretty much right in the same spot because I wanted the wood to go more to the back and fill the back side up as much as possible. Let's come around and take a look. I want to kind of be centered, that way the wood will fall both sides. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. I want the wood basically to fall on top and then just kind of shed down, and then we'll, once I get this off, the next load we'll put, you know, up farther. So, all right, time to start chucking. I've ran this up and down now probably, I don't know, 10 times without charging it. So I know my battery's got to be getting low. I'll have to get it charged pretty soon. But I do have a jumper pack. Actually, I have 2 of them. I've got an Noco pack and then some other brand. I can't remember the name of it. Somebody sent me. I think it was the Chinese version. But I have a couple of them, and then I have a battery pack that I keep in my truck all the time, that if I had to, I could hook up that and plug it in and it would slow trickle charge. So now when I do this, I don't want the wood to all come at one time. I want it to kind of trickle back. So pretty soon it should start sliding. I don't want to bust the door open in the back. There it comes. That's enough. I felt it go, the whole thing. Yeah, that's perfect. Now I get to work. So when I tip it up, I just want to be able to grab the pieces and set them right into the elevator. Okay, so again, the lever right here, you just pull this forward, back, where you want it. And the elevator, that's about as fast as I want it to go. Again, I don't want to take any steps. I want to just do this. And I want the wood to come to me. I really don't want to reach for it. And I can do a whole full trailer by myself in 15, maybe 20 minutes. If there's 2 guys, I would say 10 minutes maybe at most. It goes pretty dang fast. The good thing is all the trash, I'll show you when we get down here, all the trash stays in the trailer. Well, I shouldn't say in the trailer, all the trash is from splitting is up by the splitter, and then a lot of the debris falls off. And in between the splitter, there's that grate that the wood goes over, and a lot of the debris falls off there. And of course, when you split, you're going to have chunks come off. You're going to have bark come off, branches come off, all the oddball things you can chuck into the basket if you want chunks for boiler wood, cookies and nasties. Anyway, this is how fast it goes. Now, I'm going to try to let this build up here and show you what happens occasionally. So if you see that stick that's down here horizontally, we'll sometimes hold the pieces from going up. There's 2 of them now. Then every once in a while you get enough weight on it, it goes up. You really don't have to clear it off, but if that happens and you don't like it, all I do is I just take the piece, turn it, and it goes. But it doesn't really build up too much. Once in a while you'll get a little bit. Anyway, we're going to speed this up now. Enough of this lollygagging. So there it is. That's what 2.5 loads look like. This is what 5 loads looks like. Doesn't look like that much more, but it is. There's 5 loads in there, and this one is 2.5. But this bin, I think, is, if I remember right, It's a little deeper just because of the way I ran the pallets. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. This is 6 pallets. This is 5 pallets because I ran them the other direction, and then 4 wide on both of them. So you can see here how it's filling out in the front here. So then I'll move the elevator this way just a little bit next time and then fill all this in. Can still get a whole nother load in there. So I'll be able to get 6 loads in that one and probably 5 loads in this one. That's what I'm thinking. Something like that. But there it is, it's in there. That took about 10 minutes was all. It doesn't take long at all to just grab chuck. It goes pretty quick. And again, the elevator's running pretty slow. Maybe a third power, if that, a quarter. And you can see as the pile gets high, it gets kind of close, and all of a sudden it cascades down, it sheds down the sides, and it just keeps coming down until you get to a certain point, and then it's as high as it'll go. And I think the elevator, the maximum on it is about 10 to 11 feet, somewhere right in there. But there it is. So this is all white oak. That's all red oak. I think there was like 1 log in here I saw of red oak that got mixed in, but that's not a big deal. So, all right, now we're gonna go do some cleanup. Oh, I should show you this too. So all the wood that's in here, all this debris, as you can see, this is from those 3 loads. So the 2 from yesterday and the half load today, this is all the debris that was in there, which isn't very much. Now, if I was running a processor with many wedges on it, like an 8, a 12, a 16, a 24, whatever, you're gonna get a lot more debris. You're gonna get a lot more splinters, you get a lot more chaff, you get a lot more stuff, a lot more waste every time you add a knife. Now I was splitting all of these pretty much with the 4-way and then doing single splits on the smaller pieces. So I controlled it pretty much to get them to these smaller sizes like this, which is what I want for this wood. So any of the wood that I use for smoking, I want it to be pretty small. So that's what this is. And then down over here, I'll show you, I did the hickory. Oh, this was, I don't know, almost 2 weeks ago now. This is not hickory, this is spruce here with a little bit of oak, but this is the hickory bin. So again, here I split this stuff down smaller too, and if I remember right, there's 2 loads in here, something like that. I don't remember. It's wood, it's in there, it's drying, which is what matters. And being that this faces south, it gets sun when it's sunny, obviously. Oh, I dropped one here. And then it gets wind whenever it's windy, which is pretty much all the time. You can see by the trees there. It's always breezy here because this is up on a hill. And this goes downhill that way. This is like the highest point in the county. The airport is right over there, so this is actually as high or higher than pretty much any point in the airport. So it's awesome for drying wood. I think this is going to be even better than the last place just because it's higher and it's facing south like this out in the open. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Cleanup. We're going to go dump this debris over there into the brush pile, the debris pile. It's getting pretty big. We're probably gonna have to make a second one. That'll all be burned this fall sometime. We'll let it dry all summer. And then this fall, like on a rainy day or maybe even early winter. Once we get a snowfall or something, we'll light it up. So once it's safe to burn a big pile like that. Because this is zoned agriculture, it's not a big deal. But I will call it in. I will call in and let them know that I'm going to be burning because I'm so close to the airport here. I don't want them to think a plane crashed or something like that. And we'll probably try to do it on a day when there's no wind, so the smoke goes straight up, or so the wind is blowing more to the north or something like that, out into the fields that way, because it's all farm fields that direction. Over here there's neighborhoods, so I don't really want all the smoke blowing to those people. Try to keep them happy, even though there's nothing they can do about it because this is zoned agriculture, but there's no sense making them stirring up the hornet's nest. Don't need to do that. All right, let's go dump this debris. I think I can get low enough. Maybe, maybe not. There we go, just enough. Just the tip. All right. Looks like I'm dragging a bunch of crap. How do you like that sound? There, that's out of the way. I'm not going to clean up this debris right yet, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these logs. Oh, I better get my shovel out. Take all these logs and sort these out. And yeah, that's what I got to do next, because then I can clean this all up. So I'm going to switch, probably put the bucket on, and then I'll be able to clean all this up. But for now, since I got the grapple on, I'm going to move logs. That's what I'm going to do. A little log movement. It's always a good thing. Smooth as a newborn baby's behind. Got it all cleaned up. So today what I did was we split the rest of the white oak and got that in the bin. And then we moved all of the logs that I got from the place that I had to haul them with the trailer. There was 11 loads sitting here from my trailer full. A lot of the little stuff I put out in the field in a pile. The bigger stuff that's more processor worthy I put over here, and there's probably a semi-load here. And then I cleaned up all of the debris. So now what's left to do is get ready for the processor. And that's why I wanted to get this done, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these logs here and I'm going to sort through them. These are all red oak logs, and the ones that have the red paint marks are the ones that I know are going to be wet, and those I want to process first. So I am going to put them in a pile, probably right over there, depending on how I lay this out as far as the processor. So they're either going to go over here or they're going to go over here. And then all the dry stuff I will put probably over by where the ash is or somewhere back over here. I do have a pile of dry stuff back there, but I'm not going to process that till much later, till I get all the other stuff done, because that I know is 100% dry. When I split it, cut it and split it, I can sell it right away. There's that much dry stuff. And there's going to be stuff like this one right here. Stuff like this here. I know this will be dry 100%. This will be dry 100%, because there's cracks running all the way up. It's wide open. They're smaller ones. The ones that are have bark on yet, that have these slashes on it, those I know are going to be wet on the inside, just because of the size of them and how solid the ends are. But if they look like this, where they got the crack, and I can check the other side too, they are 100% dry. They're as dry as they're going to get. So about half is in these piles here, maybe a little less than half is dry, and then the other half is going to be wet or somewhat wet. And when I say wet, I mean the center. The outside, maybe inch or two, is going to be dry all the way around, but then the center is a little wet. And wet for a red oak tree can be anywhere from 35 to 40% moisture content, especially if it's a living tree. It can be over 40%. These are like in the 30% to maybe 25, 26%. Unless they got bark, then they're going to be pretty high. They're going to be 40 percentile. So I'm going to be separating these because I want to get the wet ones processed first, so that they've got months to dry. And then the other ones I can process anytime and I can sell it right away. So that is my game plan. And the oak's going to get done first. That's job one. Then after that, it's kind of a crapshoot. I could do anything. This balsam, spruce, white pine, red pine, all this stuff over here, that's going to get processed, put in a separate bin. But that I'm not in any hurry for either, because a lot of that's already dry, and it literally dries in weeks once you get it cut and split. And then all this ash, this stuff, a lot of it is a year old that has been cut, a year and a half, some of it. So I know that most of this is already dry too, so I'm not in a big hurry for this. I want to get it done. That's the dry oak back here. All the little ones have been separating. But this is the stuff that needs to get done pretty quick. This is a lot of these here are 14 foot and they're white oak, and there's about a half a semi-load of white oak right here. That is, maybe it's a little more than a half of a load. Might be 2/3 of a load, something like that. It's raining again. It's rained every day for the last month, seems like, in the afternoon. So we're getting rain. We're supposed to get a few showers this afternoon here, because it's, I don't know, it's 6, 7 o'clock already. It's getting dark. So it's that time of day. My work for today is complete, as you can see. Wide open spaces. I am ready to receive a machine. And like I said, it's coming in a few days. And the next thing I'm going to do, probably tomorrow, is sort all that stuff out. That's the job that's going to be done next. But that's happening tomorrow. I'm going home. I'm hungry. See you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Good night, everybody.